Welcome back to 3/5. I am the Honorable B. Webb, and I'm here with the homie.
Rad's in the building. I got my bucket on. Let's get into it, man.
Let's jump right in, because we ain't done this in a while.
Yeah. But niggas do deserve a vacation and shit.
Oh, you got to take some time off.
You know what I mean?
Niggas
we gotta go.
You got to work. You got a family. You got shit to do.
Got shit to
it's
do.
Life still outside of this.
And when you're on vacation, you learn some shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You know, we ain't done this since Juneteenth.
Yeah,
we got some freedom.
That's some bullshit.
We got us.
We ain't got no
happened
freedom.
upon some freedom, so now we here.
We ain't got no goddamn freedom.
So what you been doing since we last did this?
Man, took a vacation or two. I noticed my food intake has increased. Been eating a lot more. I've been working out less. Mm-hmm. Still doing it a little bit, but I went out to the park. Usually I can knock out Watkins Park got a 3-mile trail. Yeah. Usually I'm good on that joint. I got on the last lag. I was about to Earl. Like, my body was in a shock. My body was like, what the hell, nigga? You thought you could do this? So yeah, I've been doing that, man. And then, since the last time we recorded, nigga got a new job. So, so been working on that. Yeah, appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Appreciate that. Trying to make ends meet, as they used to say. But yeah, man. But
your head above water. Making a way if you can. Temporary layoffs.
Good time.
Easy credit ripoffs.
Good time. Scratching and surviving.
That's what the name of the game is, nigga.
Ain't we lucky we got him.
Boom, 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 boom.
Good time. Shit, man, you stupid. Dog.
So, yeah.
What about you, man?
I went to, been kicking it with my kids. Did that. That's a good time. My kids is grown as shit. My son is taller than me. My daughter looks like a...
He about to try you. About to try you soon.
You know what? That's going to be a loss. It is an L. All right. Yo. There's going to be an L right in the middle of his name. It's an L. But he can try it. I better remind him. When I say I had to let him know, I said, look, you might be taller than me, but don't think I can't cut you down the side.
I can get you.
Made a trip to Houston. Mm-hmm. Houston was lovely. Houston treated me way better than Atlanta did.
Happy birthday to the good brother.
Went down there for my Lime brother's 40th birthday. It was a surprise. He didn't know me and my other LBs was coming down there. We surprised him. He has a wonderful wife who planned it. Mm-hmm. So shout out to my LB, David Kuti. And shout out to his wife, Mo. She planned it. She had everything laid out. But we went down and got to see the city of Houston. And oh, my God.
Really?
Houston is lovely.
Houston
I'm going back.
You right?
I'm going right back. I'm going right back.
I only ever been for the All-Star, NBA All-Star game 2014. I think they hosted. I had a terrible time. So I got to do because that weekend you were either the haves or the have-nots.
You was the have-nots.
I was the have-nots. It was this nice building, Kobe in there, Magic. You just outside. You just outside.
What you was about to do?
Joe was like 3 racks to come in. So yeah, and I went to all the parties that said this is Diddy's party. One said it's Trey Songz. We go over there. None of them niggas was there.
They got y'all nut ass niggas that running there looking stupid.
We look crazy out there. But so you had a good time out there.
I had a great time out there. We stopped past this spot down there called Breakfast Club, owned by Newt. Owned there and operated by Newt.
Oh, snap. Cass was telling us about that joint.
That joint major.
Yeah.
Shout out to Breakfast Club. Like, we went in there, walk in, you order your food. So you order your joint, the menu is lovely. I got a catfish and grits. Bruh, $15, something like that. I got a drink with it, whatever it was, I got catfish and grits and a drink for less than $30.
Well, you wasn't the hell in D.C. I can
No.
tell you that shit.
Sat down at the table. My food came out less than 10 minutes. And I had a to-go carton because that's how much food they give you.
Oh, damn. You was living, nigga.
Yeah, so I can do that. Treated me way better than Atlanta treated us.
ATL, good old ATL.
ATL ain't treat us well. ATL ain't treat Dominique Wilkins well. So, shit, but H-Town.
So you know what they gonna do to us.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but shout out to Houston.
Shout out to the H-Town.
Went up to, I had to go to Philly last weekend. Slid in and out of Philly because I don't spend too much time there because they shooting everybody. But,
yo, man, Philly is disappointing right now. I was just up there 2 weeks ago. I try to go out. I swear to God, there's no parking in the entire city. They don't have garages. All the parking lots was full. I was like, I might as well go home.
What you was up there for, though?
I was up there for a repast, really. Somebody passed away, so I made a couple days out of it. Went to see my brother. And my cousin manages a club out there. So I was like, I'm going to go see him. I swear to God, there's no parking around Chinatown, man. Just forget it.
I don't play around in Philly too much. When I'm up there, I go chill with the usual homies, and we usually kick it in the house. I ain't going too far because it's a little wild, man. But hold up, you made another trip to Philly.
Did I? I made two trips?
You went to the Pretty Nasty Cookout.
Yeah, I did.
So what's up with the Pretty Nasty Cookout?
Pretty Nasty was dope. Although they showed me my age. Oh, shit. Literally, I was top 3 oldest cats out there. And
wait, it was you, Footy, and what, TJ? That was it? No, Dave was there. She was top 4.
But hold on, though. It didn't start out. So there was an old school Greek that day, too, which was right in Fairmount Park. After they shut down, they came over.
All right.
So initially, it was just me, Linwood.
You was looking nutty.
I look old. I look straight. I'm sitting in my chair. Like
they was about to call SVU on you
and
and say, look like
yeah,
bull over here trying to fill somebody up.
Yeah, I look bad. But yeah, I mean, look, it was a good time. I was trying to get to know bros. Things have changed, man. You ask a brother his chapter, he's like, what you asking me? Because I don't know you. You know what I mean? So we had that situation. But, I told somebody, I said, this is the new Greek. It is. Because they don't have a John no more.
No, so shout out to the Noops and the Qs that run a Pretty Nasty Cookout.
Yeah.
They've been
shout
doing
out to
it
y'all, man. It was a good time. Vendors out there, food.
It's dope.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't get to make it this year. I've been to a few.
Good thing.
So that's cool. So you made it up there for that.
But let me talk about this for a minute while we on Philly, and then we can extrapolate it across the country. And I want to get your thoughts about something.
Nigga get a new job, want to extrapolate. Ain't that a bitch?
Right?
God
big words, right?
Extrapolate. All right, nigga.
How dare you go to Widener?
Go ahead, Cornell West.
Yeah. State school ass nigga. Anyway, our inner cities are under siege, man. Like you said, actually, Philly is now 314 deaths.
They wild.
They wild. You and I are daily watching DC's news, and every day they have 1, 2, and 3 murders happening. The police departments are puzzled. They don't know what to do. The community is like, and it's funny because like the community is like, they up in arms. But at some point, these guys are somebody's family that are doing the murder.
Just doing it, yeah.
So, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Baltimore is right there. Mm-hmm. What the hell's going on? I'm confused a little bit by it.
Me and my mom we've had these talks several times over the years, and I always say it come back to 2 things: education and employment. You undereducating the people, and they can't find jobs, so they act the fuck out. They either selling dope or they robbing and stealing. And we know when the sun come out, the guns come out.
But what is it about this year? Because it's up over last year. So is there something in particular about 2021? Now, listen, the action isn't different because it's been happening for years, right? But this year is nuts.
I think it was Rona last year and everybody was in the crib. Nothing was open. Now it's back open, but you still don't have a job. You still undereducated. So now you back outside. What you gonna do? The guns are still there. The guns ain't go away. The places to go to was shut down. You couldn't go socialize. You couldn't be outside. You couldn't do nothing. The D-boys were still on the block, but social life was shut down last year. Social life come back.
But we all know undereducated people in the hood that are not killing people.
But we also know
people who are unemployed in the hood that are not killing people. I don't get it. That's why I'm confused by it. Like I need somebody to tell me something that makes sense.
Where the guns coming from? They ain't coming from us. Where the dope coming from? It ain't coming from us.
Okay.
Like Nino said up on the stand, ain't no Uzis made in Harlem. Now one of us in here owns a poppy field. So it ain't us. We get it. We can't get a job. We can't get a job because we don't have good education. They undereducate us. They gentrifying the shit out of Philly. So they gentrifying it. The property value dropped all the way down. Now you got white people coming and buying up everything. What's it doing is driving the property value back up. Mm-hmm. The people that's been living there can't afford to live there no more. They'll let the educational system sit and be low for a while until enough white people get in there. Then they going to step up the educational system. Then they're going to improve it. Mm. But the whole time, people that look like us, we undereducated. So we underemployed or unemployed. What else you want me to do? Ain't nobody teach me enough to say, hey, look, you can go get it on your own. You ain't getting no small business loan. We've been talking about this. Ain't no young black male going to get a small business loan. So what we gonna do? What you supposed to do?
So let me tackle it differently. I thought you was gonna lean on the mental health leg. I did, but you didn't go there. But this is what I'm gonna ask you. I was watching the news this morning, and she said they're looking for the communities. The woman was on the news, and she's asking for a proactive approach because what you decide, and she's talking about the police or whatever, what you decide after the fact is after somebody's dead already. So what is a proactive approach for a police department? I mean, because that's ultimately who they looking for. So last year we were saying defund the police. This year we're saying, they said when they interviewed the chief of police in D.C., he said, I'm down 250 officers. Mm-hmm. So now some people is like, well, fund the police, right? Like we need more cops. But what does a proactive approach look like to make sure that these homicides are not happening from the police perspective that you would back?
How is a cop going to stop a homicide?
So, for instance, they're saying we're going to take our police officers out of their cruisers and we're going to have them patrol these areas on foot that are considered hot spots. So it almost feels like now we're going to have over-policing again.
When the last time you seen a cop on foot in North Philly or Southeast D.C.?
I don't know, but it's happening. I seen 5. So police, Philly has taken the same perspective. I seen 5 cops out on foot walking through Chinatown.
I said North Philly or Southeast D.C., not Chinatown.
I mean, you almost there. I mean,
Chinatown,
go right up the block.
We ain't in Chinatown.
I know what you mean. I got you. Well, we hang out down there. That's the thing.
We don't live there.
Yeah, sure.
So what they gonna do? What's a cop on? When the last time you seen a cop on foot down Cecil B. Moore?
So what is something you could get behind in terms of a proactive approach?
So if you brought up the mental health aspect of it, so I think that's a major thing. You training young black men and women What are you saying? I'm going to put you in this hood. I'm not going to give you a good education. I'm going to give you all the impetus to drop out before you graduate high school. Mm-hmm. So you're already training them mentally to say, I ain't going to be shit. I can't make it out of this. I'm stuck in this rut.
Right.
So now when I'm outside and I'm down and I'm 20 years old and I got 2 kids, both under 5 years old, and I'm struggling. What am I going to do? If I go walk in to get a job, I can't even fill out the application properly. But I can get a gun for $200. Why can I get a gun for $200? I don't know, but I can get a gun for $200. And I get some dope for the same amount. Or I just go, I'm going to break in this car, I'm going to go in this house, I'm going to catch somebody walking down the block, whatever it's going to be. But you make that easily accessible. Mm-hmm. And then once you put them in the system, we already know how that cycle go.
Are you saying we don't have a choice?
I'm not saying we don't have a choice, but mental conditioning is a bitch amongst our people in our community.
I agree with that.
And then it's no recognition or therapy for PTSD in the black community.
Sure.
Because we got it.
But how do you explain a cat that came from the inner city that chose not to do that, and now they some successful person somewhere? Because they would have dealt with the same trauma. They would have been given the same lack of education or whatever. Typically what happens is they master that. So they look really good by the time they graduate or whatever. But they've been given the same conditions. And yet this person chose to murder. This person chose to rise above their condition. And we're looking at a time and period where when we were talking about who's the leader of black people these days, Martin's gone, Malcolm X is gone, people have moved on. Dyson's moved on to new things. He's still talking the same thing, but by and large, he's a professor. We've literally turned the keys over to a generation of kids who's leading the Black Lives Matter movement. We don't have nobody to look to say, look, y'all got to calm this down. Y'all got to start looking at each other as family and stop killing each other.
How about Dr. Umar?
I don't know him enough. And that's enough to say he can't lead our people. I mean, I think he makes some good points. I've heard him before. But
He's talking that shit. He said that black people who date outside their race shouldn't get reparations.
Fuck that got to do with crime.
Well, I'm just saying, like, these are some of the things that he's talking about where he's creating a trajectory of things that could eliminate things that happen in our community.
So if you're saying that, I mean, you going to an extreme at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you can't start off with the extreme. You got to start off with some real shit that's happening. Real shit that's happening is we, like I said, undereducated, unemployed. Fuck a white girl got to do with that.
I mean, there's still other variables outside of your race. There's
a lot of times her ass is undereducated and unemployed.
Right,
too.
when she dealing with you.
Let's just be honest. We're not the only ones dealing with this shit. There's more poor whites in America than it is black.
Yeah, and there's plenty of poor whites that's struggling.
I mean, shit.
But
her crackhead ass running up and down the block with them terry cloth shorts on, looking for the crack. God damn it.
That nut ass camisole on, looking stupid as fuck.
Why they got the same gear?
They wear the same. It's a uniform. You go up Kensington right now, they look like that.
Dion, you think they can get that back in blood on the taxes?
He also said that if black women got weaves in their hair, they don't deserve reparations either.
Who said that?
Dr. Umar. He said because anybody who tries to relate themselves to the white community or white oppression, they don't deserve it.
What if the Y is cancer?
Dr. Umar. He must have got his doctorate from the same school that Dr. Seuss went to. Nobody listen to that nigga.
Would he give him a pass if the Y is cancer?
because they got a bald head?
Nah, it's no weaves, none of that. Because what happens, you're trying to assimilate yourself to white society, white culture. Because white women wear their hair straight,
Okay.
and black women should wear their hair natural. So he said, any type of form.
I'm not a proponent or fan of weave. Let's just be clear. I'd rather you have your natural hair. But it's a little extreme to say you can't get reparations because you chose to have weave.
And ain't no hair weave drove no nigga to sell dope or shoot somebody.
No, in fact, it's niggas that'll pull up on a chick with a hair weave. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't trying to hear
It ain't that. And white girls wear hair weaves too. So let's get
Why you call them hair weaves?
That's what is.
Yo, that's funny.
Hair weaves.
Hair weave.
Nah, but my overall
Like as if there's a different weave that's not hair weave?
my overall point is, I'm just saying that you got people like him that are pointing out certain things that we are doing in our community.
You mean he's a leader?
I can't say he's a leader because a leader sometimes gets misconstrued as like, you gotta be perfect. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got their flaws, so there's stuff that he does.
Nah, that might be your perspective. Hitler was a leader. Stalin was a leader. Bashir is a leader. Saddam is a leader. Bin Laden is a leader.
Yeah, they was
But
leaders.
there's things that
Leaders.
King and Malcolm did that weren't right, but they were still leaders. But see now
But that's how we get treated though. Black people. You do one wrong fucking thing, it fucks up all your good.
Well, that's
even
what
if
I'm
you're
saying.
actually
Like,
a good
we can't
cat.
have leaders now because a leader has to be like a perfect icon to our community in order to be a leader. Like if he has a flaw, like if
Had a baby out of wedlock or some shit.
something
I feel you on
then
that.
discredits their leadership. But the shit that they're saying is
Makes some sense
makes some
to
sense
us.
to us.
I think that's only our race, our community.
That's only us. That's only us, and it's always going to be us because that's how we.
Trump up in the White House. He
Trump.
Melania. That was Melania's kid.
Trump on his 15th wife. He took his mistress on vacation with him when he was with his wife before that.
Yeah, exactly.
They went out to the fucking ski resort, and he had his wife and kids there and his mistress.
But he's white though. You can get away.
And that's the thing. You
Well,
can
that's
get
the
away.
point. That's the point I'm trying
go
to
through
make.
bankruptcy 20 times. You can do all types of wild shit. You grabbing them by the
They
pussy.
think he
You
the
can do all
best
this.
thing since sliced bread.
And he won the presidency.
Obama got out without a scandal.
Yeah,
He did.
but he played it safe, man. He
But
didn't
you
really-
got to when you us.
That's true, but there's people like I said, Dr. Umar, that he ain't a saint, but some of the shit he be saying.
That's why
It
nobody
definitely-
knows him. Because you got to take the bait or you
they
don't.
know.
They know, like people know who he is, but
People know who he is, but he doesn't have a loud enough platform. And why is
Because
that?
there's-
Because you don't agree with the Jews.
Well, no, because there's things that
Or the Jews don't agree with you.
there's things that allege that happened to him, like they say that he's stealing money from the school in Delaware and some other shit.
Yeah, I
He
heard
messed with
about
a
that.
stripper, shit like that. So that takes away from his credibility of the message that he gives out. Majority of his message is positive.
According to who?
What do you mean?
According to who?
What?
Who said that takes away from his credibility?
But that's the culture. The culture's like if he does X, Y, Z that's not right, then let's discredit his message.
we come down harder on our people
Right.
than we come down hard than we would on others, and then we come down hard on our people than others come down on their own people. Other cultures, other ethnicities, they ride with their people. We come down on our folks,
But
man.
sometimes we have to. These fucking restaurants that they trying to get off the ground that are trash,
Yeah.
they need to know they trash.
Yeah.
And the ones we said it was trash, when they open, they're now closed.
Yeah, it's true.
District so I mean, I tell it.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
I tell a joke, but it's not really a joke. I'm still waiting on my whiskey ginger from District Soul
Oh, I got a couple black establishments I'm waiting to shut down because I'm still waiting on my food. And
Yeah,
drink
yeah,
from,
you
so-
waiting on your wings.
Yeah.
I mean, and they dead gone now. Well, yo, I mean, seriously, there are things that we're not good at, and it doesn't
But-
mean that we can't criticize.
But we have been historically good at leading our people. But the shit we started off talking about is this crime rate in our cities, in our communities, specifically in these cities. I don't know how we're going to address that properly. Like, until, like, the superintendent of any school system that's shitty don't give a fuck about the people that's there.
Wait. Let me interrupt you real quick. I thought we said, it just came to me. I thought we said, like, a couple episodes ago that the black father is missing. I thought we said that was the issue. Because these little niggas that's out here running wild, I can guarantee you dad ain't there. Or either the mom and dad is at odds. Dad around, but he can't really.
But we have to also take into account the way that we were systematically removed from our households.
Sure.
We were systematically removed from our communities. Black men. Sure. We was targeted to get out of there. They didn't want us there. They didn't want us in the house. They didn't want us to stay in the community. White people have kids out of wedlock more than black people do.
We need to get people some bullet points. Because I can guarantee you, the people watching us is having the same conversation about these wild ass statistics.
Yeah.
So we said 1, the absence of the father. 2,
undereducated. 3,
mental health.
Underemployed or unemployed.
Underemployed or unemployed.
And mental health.
Hold on, the person doing the crime or the family?
It's collective. Black people in the inner city, in these communities that are struggling. Underemployed or unemployed.
Okay. And then mental health. Yeah. So those are 4 causes.
Yeah.
Got any solutions that we can give to people to think about having a conversation on? I can think about one. And that is, if there are some cats out there that would say, no, I didn't have my dad, but I did have my uncle or I did have my neighbor. So I would challenge those guys to step up. If they have the ability to do so and they know that they can control that person, you know, because they have a certain level of respect, could be a neighbor, could be a teacher, could be a coach. Coaches are a great avenue because we like to play sports in our community, and if that person can do that. So, yeah.
It might be, we've gotten too far into mind your own business type of shit with our people. Like, oh, something going over there, but I don't want to get involved because it's not my. When we were younger, if you did some shit wrong and your neighbor down the street seen you doing it,
yeah,
they might go upside your head to tell your mom that they went upside your head.
Yeah, right.
But your mom's about to go upside your head.
Okay. All right.
Now they kind of back away. We need more of us, black men that's willing to step up and say, hey, look, I ain't got to be your father to tell you doing wrong.
Uh-huh.
I ain't got to be your uncle to step in and say, hey, look, you need to take a different path. You need to take your books home and do homework, and you know what I mean? So I think that's probably a part of that. We need to get out of that, oh, mind your business type of shit. Like, no, we come from, our people come from a continent that was built on villages taking care of each other.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to go to no African village and tell them you need to mind your business about some shit that's going on there.
Right.
They're going to look back at you like, who are you talking to?
Right.
These are all our children. They're not just your kids. These are my kids. They ain't got to have my last name to be your kid.
Takes a village.
So I think we got to get back to that. So I think that can address that particular part of it. The education route, that's some wild shit, dog.
Well, what role do Black Greek organizations have? Because we have the ability to
shucking and jiving.
We got
that's
so
what we do well.
I think in a lot of cases, and this is my personal
Tap
feeling,
dance,
I think
shoe, Sambo.
I think our objectives are not anchored in what's real for our communities. So, for instance, we'll go off and our thing for that fraternal year will be something that's out of tune what's happening in the inner city. So I think it needs to be readjusted and focused on helping this cause. And we could do it through education because a lot of us have educators in our organization.
how do you get the Greek organizations to actually give a damn about it? Because, see, it'd be me and you or a couple guys or a chapter that gives a fuck. Was Alpha Phi Alpha or Kappa Alpha Psi, Phi Beta Sigma, Omega Psi Phi? They give a fuck overall? Or are they looking at their bottom line?
Well, the bottom line isn't the bottom line. They're not a for-profit organization. They're a non-profit. So you got to, you need money to keep the organization floating. But at the end of the day, the organizations should be pouring money back in. And what I'm saying to you is, stop. I mean, Turkey Drive is important. Toys for Tots is not, for instance, because that's not what Christmas is about. Yeah, you don't want kids to feel left out.
The toy ain't gonna fill my stomach.
Right, exactly. So are there resources that can be redirected to what is actually necessary in a black community? That's what I think. And the other thing is Phi Beta Sigma, Alpha Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, and Omega Psi Phi, they all got different fucking objectives for that fraternal year. What if we all had to write the same fucking objective, which is fix this shit in the inner city? Now you got how many motherfuckers in the organization focused on this shit in the inner city? I don't know what the hell we talking about if we're not doing that. We fucked up.
I think the IOTAs is doing big.
So next up is
Amazon's been moving quickly. UPS and Amazon partners.
So what about
I ain't fucking with
what
UPS.
about being unemployed, underemployed? How we address that particular aspect? Because you're gonna be unemployed or underemployed when you're undereducated.
Well, Webb, let's be honest. You gotta keep your fucking piss clean. These niggas can't pass the drug test.
But wait, why are we still drug testing when weed is legal? White people was out opening dispensaries and fucking coffee shops and everything the fuck else. Why the fuck can't a black person smoke some weed and get a job? That shit don't have nothing to do with my job, my
who the hell
professional performance.
Who the hell said it's weed?
If niggas is on cocaine and all these other things.
You just made a fucking big ass assumption that we just talking about trees. We talking about trees, nigga? These niggas is on drugs.
They are
fentanyl to be exact.
But white people been on fentanyl before we was on it.
Come on, man. But pass the fucking test to get the job,
And
then do your
high.
drugs.
Then get high.
Don't do your drugs before. Jesus.
Because they know they ain't going to get the job no damn way.
Hey, listen, dog. I'm saying our community needs some serious uplifting, man. Knowledge.
No, you're right. Knowledge, dog. But how much of it, and I don't buy in personally to that whole religion thing, but it played a significant role in uplifting our people and getting us on the right path. So if you had Dr. King, who was a Christian preacher, you had the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you had Malcolm X, who was coming from the Nation of Islam. You had two of the major religions of the world with black heads in the U.S. who was able to move their people forward. We don't necessarily have that now.
We don't. And the heads of our religions are rich and their people are not. And it just is what it is, bro. You go back and look at it, X wasn't rich. King wasn't rich. They were literally thirsty for doing the work of the people. Yeah. They didn't have these mega churches with airplanes and all of this shit.
QEP wasn't
they got a role in this shit. You make a good point. They got a role in it but I do think they're doing their part to some extent. Like you take it for instance at TD Jakes, he has an elementary school, and I'm sure there's things embedded in that curriculum. I mean, I think they're doing their part, but it's just not enough, man.
So, what about the mental health aspect?
Mm-hmm. So part of the issue of mental health from a services standpoint in America is that when docs want to be doctors, they're not choosing psychiatry. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's almost like hospice. Like nobody wants to do that shit. They're going to be cardiologists and surgeons and the likes. So we literally have a shortage of docs who specialize in that way. So particularly what we're working on is having social work, psychologists, and psychiatrists partner in to create something that, is more rigid for this. But it just, and I would venture to say we need a lot of help in the white community around that shit. That's why these mass shootings and shit is happening.
Oh, it's real.
I mean, it's not just us.
No, it's not just us. Not at all. But if you looking at mental health, I understand what you're saying. There's a deficit of the people that are there to actually professionally treat it.
Right.
But when it comes to us, you can I'm sure you could look at a lot of black people in the hood and diagnose with PTSD. If you grew up poor,
I'd agree with that.
you grew up with white people present, you grew up with police killing you.
But you got to go and ask, is this what
I get that. I get that. Uh-huh. But how do we said mental health. Like, that's a part of it. How do we get there? I know we got to go, but we don't have access to it. If you undereducated, unemployed, you don't have health insurance.
Iyanla Vanzant? Fuck is she doing? I'm not even joking. Like, fuck. Don't she do therapy? I'm not even joking, cuz.
Yo, but who gonna treat him? Like, ain't nobody opening no community center and doing no fucking mental wellness there, cause it ain't no money in it.
The government said they was gonna get behind it.
The government ain't never gave a fuck about black people in this fucking country.
But they said they was gonna put some money behind mental health. They did say that's a fact.
You know, said that. Who, Joe Biden?
Yeah, well, his administration, not Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is old enough to have owned slaves. You think he's about to really put some shit behind the black community? Who gonna do it?
No, I think what's happening is things are starting to affect white people, and so we're going to be a beneficiary, and it's going to be a downstream benefit.
But they'll put a wellness center in a white neighborhood. They not putting it in our neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, what's fucking different than the rest of than all of our lives, nigga? We never had so. Resources really is what you're saying related to the inner city. We've never had it. We've never had it, but at the same time, we don't go find it either. Like we've always said, black people don't go to therapy. We don't. If you go to therapy, you're weak in our community.
Right.
So it's got to be a little. We gotta stop not putting some responsibility on ourselves. You got to take the fucking bull by the horn and say, I recognize that I haven't been feeling right. Something the fuck's going on. I'm sad all the time. I feel like I want to hurt some fucking body. I want to hurt myself. You got to take some fucking initiative.
But before that.
But then there's got to be services for you. So.
And before that, you don't just turn 30 and realize you fucked up. You be fucked up when you 6. Because like we talked about before, your crib is crazy. So if you're going through a lot at home, the teacher recognizes that.
At that point,
this child is a little off. He got something going on.
Right. So they get the guidance counselor involved or whoever else at the school. That's how you get connected to the services.
But if the resources ain't even there.
When you talk about undereducation, as you pointed out, part of it is undereducated about what's available.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a different lens. Like, we're not talking about textbook undereducated. We're talking about there's shit there. The other thing is we don't know the law, right? True. We don't know our rights. We don't know none of that shit. And we got to get educated about that.